Hi, Jens. Steve Martin here. I am so honored to be able to even say your name, Jens Krüger. You are one of the great banjo players. You have contributed so much to the music, to the emotion, to the technique and skill of the banjo, not only to mention your beautiful songs you've written. You have such a great body of work. So congratulations. And I was honored to play with you on the David Letterman show, to play Jack of the Woods, that I struggled to learn. I had to consult Bela Fleck to teach me how to play it. And even he had trouble. Anyway, congratulations. And I'd be remiss if I didn't mention your great band, Uwe and Joel, you just have the most beautiful sound in the world. So congratulations. Bye.
When a serious and inspired musician devotes his or her energies to the banjo, the instrument cannot help but be elevated in stature and perception. Although firmly rooted in the bluegrass and folk music traditions that seem to permeate the soil of his adopted home state of North Carolina, Jens Krüger's ability to infuse folk music styles into a classical music framework has resulted in a musician with a delightfully fresh and honest sound, as well as a body of written, performed, and recorded work that enhances the very core of American acoustic music traditions. Born in Germany, Jens and his brother Uwe grew up in Switzerland in a home filled with music. While their parents played accordion, guitar, and harmonica and had a song for every occasion, the boys were intently learning instrumental basics as well as how to sing in harmony. By the age of 7, Jens had become enamored with the banjo, its free and joyful sound making him envision the places he wanted to be. After practicing picking and fingering patterns on a mock instrument prior to actually owning the real thing, once immersed in the banjo, Jens Krüger lost interest in anything else. Sadly, those happy years spent as an idyllic musical family were not to last. After their mother passed away and their father's second marriage began to crumble, Jens and Uwe, while still in their teens, left home in 1979, never to return. Completely detached from home, school, and society, the brothers focused on honing their musical skills as they performed on the streets throughout Eastern and Western Europe. The CBS record contract and hosting duties of a Swiss public radio show that followed were the precursor to a brief separation which saw Uwe concentrating on country music in Switzerland while Jens journeyed to the United States, where he, as a guest of Bill Monroe's Bluegrass Boys, became the very first European ever to perform on the Grand Ole Opry. Reunited in Switzerland, the influences of American bluegrass icons such as Bill Monroe, Doc Watson, and Flatt & Scruggs were evident as Jens and Uwe performed as the Appalachian Barn Orchestra. Later, partnering with a bassist from New York named Joel Landsberg, the circle became complete and the trio the world knows as the Kruger Brothers was born in 1995. Taking Bill Monroe's advice, don't only play bluegrass to heart, Jens began composing original music reflective of his country, culture, and inner soul. While European audiences often dismissed the new material, a 1997 trip to Merlefest in North Carolina became a turning point which saw American audiences embrace both Jens's compositions as well as the new and genuine sound of the Kruger brothers. Comparing the warmth and acceptance shown them in America to the feeling they knew as children playing music at home with their parents, in 2002, Jens, Uwe, and Joel moved to Wilkesboro, North Carolina to be closer to the soul, spirit, and creators of the music they loved. In this fertile creative environment, the trio practiced constantly, never fighting the rural stereotypes associated with the banjo and folk music, preferring instead to add to those existing perceptions through their original music infused with earthiness, simplicity, and honesty. After a lifetime of serious study of composition, harmony, and counterpoint, Beginning in 2006, Jens was frequently commissioned to write classical music pieces, which the Kruger brothers have performed with various orchestral ensembles around the world. Among them, music from The Spring, the Appalachian Concerto, The Spirit of the Rockies, and Lucid Dreamer have fulfilled Jens's desire to break down barriers between folk and classical music, presenting the banjo in a new and exciting manner, while simultaneously winning praise from prestigious organizations such as the National Endowment for the Arts and Chamber Music America. Recognized by the U.S. Department of State's Extraordinary Ability Program, Jens is proud to call America home. Although honored for a 40-plus year career exclusively devoted to music, with every accolade and award his profession can bestow, including the 2013 Steve Martin Prize for Excellence in Banjo and Bluegrass and induction into the Blue Ridge Music and Wilkes County Halls of Fame, Kruger considers one of his proudest moments to be June 6, 2006, when the flag over the U.S. Capitol was flown in his name to honor his cultural contributions to America. Through amazing musicianship and original music, which by design is more emotional than virtuosic, Jens Krüger, touching his listeners with equal parts of joy and longing, has literally redefined the banjo's role in bluegrass, folk, and acoustic music.